Hey guys, welcome to another episode of T&K NoCo Auto Talk. On today's episode, we're going to explore the Chevy Colorado ZR2. We're going to take a walk around in this beast. We're going to check under the hood. We'll take a peek on the inside and then we'll take it out for a road test. Let's dive in. So we'll take a quick walk around of this ZR2, this beautiful black Chevrolet 2023 model. Very aggressive looking. I really enjoy the front styling here on the front face of this truck. I don't know, it just looks bad. It looks like it just wants to eat you or something. I don't know what's going on, but it just looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a beast. It's like a little baby Silverado.
Oh yeah, baby Silverado on steroids.
Yeah. Like,
Mega beast.
What are you feeding that kid?
Yeah, exactly. So as we kind of come across the front here, again, we've got the streamlined headlight look. We do have the daytime running lights, your headlamps, and your fog lights, and I believe also the tail lamps are LED. And then, Kay, what about the rest of the lighting on the vehicle, like your hazards and your turn signals?
The turn signals and the brake lights, the reverse lights, those are all halogen, which is kind of crazy.
Yes.
That all you really see these days are LEDs on literally everything.
Right.
But here we are in 2024 with good old halogens.
Yeah, halogen lights on a 2023 model vehicle, where everything else, like you said, you're going to be high performance LEDs, basically.
Yeah. I guess the benefit would be cost. If you have to replace one of those bulbs, it's not going to, you don't have to replace the whole assembly or anything like that. So
easy for someone to do it themselves in that instance.
Easy to change and low cost.
Right.
So I guess there's a benefit there.
Yeah, well, as long as we've got safety, that's all that matters. Exactly. So as we continue down the front, we've of course got our Chevrolet bow tie. I love the red accent here. That really makes that pop against the black, and also of course matching our two that's also accented in the red. And then as we kind of go down, we've also got our tow hooks that are also of the red accent as well. And fun fact about this bow tie, this is the most recognizable emblem in the world. It's been around since 1913. Wow. I think there are some conspiracy theories out there on how this came to be and what it actually means. But undeniable, when you see this, you know this is a Chevy, and it just makes a statement. So I like that they did that, and they kind of moved away on this particular model from their traditional gold stamped bow tie. I like the looks of this.
Yeah, it is interesting to see how it's changed over the years. But I think obviously the latest iteration of it is very modern. It's very clean. And they're trying new things with it, which is really cool.
Yep, 100%. So also notice too, we've got vents here, right? This is active and open. These are not. I don't know why they did this. I don't like that. Also here, what's the point? It looks cool, but it has no function. What is that? Just some slight misses, I think. Yeah. You know, just give it a little bit more to make it more dynamic. Yeah, slotted open would be very cool looking.
It's kind of nice if you want to feel like you're doing something on your own. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are plenty of options on the aftermarket for vents there.
Yes. So, yep.
Chevy's like, you can do that yourself.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I could see someone, if that's capable, maybe put a light bar or something in here. Maybe add more lights in here, fog lights here as well. So
for sure.
I guess leaving that open for those options for customization for the owner, I guess it's not a bad choice.
Yep.
But it does just kind of make it, in this setup, a little bit bland against what everything else is kind of going on.
I agree.
So we can kind of continue here. We've got our bulge here on the hood. Again, no functionality. It's more just styling. I don't know. I think I just would have liked to see this have some kind of functionality, or at least give the look of some functionality, just to make that stand out and pop a little bit more.
Yeah, even on the Silverado, it's got a similar look. The ZR2 and even the ZR1s have that same bulge, but it has a little more character. It's got lines on it. It shows like the displacement on there as well. So it's just like really cheap and bland looking on this.
Yep. So not a lot, too much going on at the front. I think really what makes this vehicle is this area right here. That really makes it like stand out. You see it, you're like, oh man, what is that coming down the road? Right. gives it that monster truck look, basically.
Right.
But as we continue around, obviously I do believe, I'm not 100% sure if this is stock suspension on this vehicle or if the previous owner of this vehicle did some upgrade to the suspension here. So I really don't want to comment too much on that, but I do like the lift. I do like the height on this vehicle. We've got some bigger off-road size tires on here, wrapped around a 17-inch wheel. Of course, this is an aftermarket wheel. Nice choice of wheel. I like the black. It just fits in and blends with the other theme of what's going on this truck.
Yeah, it definitely gives, I mean, no, it's a Chevy, so don't come for me, but it really does have like presence. It feels
does.
like a Raptor. You're standing next to a Raptor.
Right. Yep.
But it's a Chevy.
Yep, it's a Chevy. Yep. A good old gasser too.
Yeah.
So they also have the off-road running board right here, so it's flush against the vehicle, so that way you still have clearance when you're hitting the trails. You don't have to worry about taking your running boards off, so it still gives you rock guard protection and things like that against your frame, so that's really nice. Continuing on here towards the back, we've got, for the rear shocks, the Multimatic DSSB system, and with this system, it's going to give you a lot of shock absorbency. Uses spool valves to determine your damper force and velocity characteristics. So it gives a nice alternative to those traditional slim dampeners. And it looks like this is used in pretty much every Chevy and GMC trucks out there on the market.
Wow.
So more flexibility, smoother ride, especially when you're in the off-road trails. It's going to give you a lot more control. Continuing on towards the back, we've got our Chevrolet stamped right here in the bed. I do love the stamped look. I know a lot of manufacturers have moved to stamping in the bed like this. Again, I have a Tacoma TRD Pro, and I love that Pro, that TRD is stamped here on the side. I love that. I don't like the kind of decal look. So this, for me, not as cool. If it was stamped, a lot better.
Yeah, got those, again, halogen bulbs in the back.
Imagine how much brighter that would be with some LEDs.
Yeah, and it would look a lot more clean and modern.
Yep,
for sure.
100%. So continuing on around here on the passenger side, we basically just have a repeat of what's on the driver's side. So I think, unless you have any other comments to add about the exterior features of this vehicle, Kay?
Yeah, I think it's really cool to just note what some things that you get standard on the ZR2.
Yep.
So this one, you mentioned the 17-inch wheels, but it also does come with front-rear full locking differentials. So that's really important if you're a rock climber, if you're going off-road, if you want to take this bad boy out and see what it can do.
Yep.
And then it's got that 2-speed transfer case to go along with that. So
very nice. Yeah, so it gives you a lot of flexibility in your controls and how the vehicle functions to get you over different types of terrain. Being able to separate the front and rear diffs, make them independent of each other, make them work together. Having that flexibility, those choices, I think is really great in a truck. That's what it's all about, 4x4, right?
100%.
Well, let's take a peek under the hood and see what's going on with this engine in this bad boy. Sounds good, Kay?
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right, Kay, let's check and see what's under the hood of this bad boy, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Got our prop rod right here. Go ahead and open that up. Boom. Take a peek at that. I love when we have nice, clean engine bays. Very, very beautiful. Looks like we got a big air intake going on in there as well. So we've got this 2.7 liter, I believe it's an inline 4-cylinder. And I think we may have mentioned earlier as well, this is paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. And we've got engine horsepower at about 310, and we've got about 430 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow, nice, healthy numbers.
Yeah, those are some good numbers. You know, again, I don't think it's anything that's going to be super duper fast per se, but we do have the power there. Definitely able to power out of certain situations or instances. Again, those are great power ratings for any sort of off-roading or off-road trails with that dirt, gravel, slippage. You know, you're able to get those rear diffs, the front diffs able to spin and pop you out of certain situations.
Yeah.
So It's pretty beefy.
Never ceases to amaze the kind of power they're getting out of 4-cylinder engines these days.
Yeah, man, I've always been a proponent of the smaller liter engines, the 2 liters, the 3 liters with the inline fours. Those are some bangers, man. They really do output a lot of power.
Yeah, if only they could make them sound good.
Well, I think that kind of goes with your upgrading of the exhaust system and things like that to help out. But, you know, you do have a point. You have a point. But I do like the setup they've got going on here in the engine bay. You got your oil, your engine cooler, oil cooler lines flowing through there. So everything's nice and laid out. And it really just, honestly, looks like a work of art. Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, it is wearing a Chevy badge. So they take this very seriously.
And, you know, I've never seen myself to be a Chevy person, but for some reason, this vehicle, like, I really like it. It just really speaks to me.
Yeah. I've always loved the motors on Chevys, but I wasn't willing to. If I'm going to spend all this money, I want to get more than just a good motor. I want the interior to be nice. So that's why I've always really steered clear of Chevy. But they've seriously upped their game the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is, as you know, is a mid-sized truck. So for that mid-sized market, this definitely competes with the Tacoma, the TRD Off-Road, maybe even the Pro as well, along with that Ford Ranger Raptor and the GMC Canyon AT4X.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of powerhouses right there.
Yeah, I think the Bison is probably the best looking one in the segment. But this, I mean, the design on this one it's really good. I mean, they did a really good job designing because it's designed to look aggressive and mean and powerful, and it is all of those things.
Yeah, nice looking truck. Let's take a peek and see what we've got going on the inside. I think there are some fun little features in there and some other cool little accents we can check out. So let's pop in there. Let's take a look. All right, Kay, let's check out, see what's going on inside this bad boy. All right, so first thing I just want to say, again, I'm not sure how tall this truck is, what lift, but I think it might be a 6-inch, not quite certain. I'm 5'6", 5'7" on a good day. And we mentioned about the basically the rot guard that's down here because we don't have traditional running board or side steps. It is quite a hefty lift for me to get in this truck like this, the setup. Even I could use the rot guard to get in, but there's no grab handle here. Like you have one on the passenger side, which would be really handy to do that to lift yourself in the truck. So I guess I'll have to hang on to the steering wheel and hoist myself in here. But once I get in, I have to say I do like the way the seats hug me. I do wish the bolsters came out just a little bit more, kind of like a sports seat, so you could sit down in the seat. But seating in here is very comfortable. Couple of things I do want to point out that I think are very cool features. We've got our yellow accent stitching here running across your dash. Of course, we've got our ZR2 badge popped right there against this camo theme laced in there, which is really, really nice. Also, I love the yellow seat belts. These are super cool.
I know.
Really, really like that.
For $50, you too can have yellow seat belts.
You too can have yellow seat belts. So, fun fact also, well, maybe this isn't a fun fact, but I'm curious. Did the yellow stitching come because of the yellow seat belts, or was the yellow stitching already present before the yellow seat belts?
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Which came first, exactly. So I do like that touch. Gives just a little bit of oomph. They do continue that camouflage pattern down here for your phone charging. So you do see that here and in the little pockets here in the door handle as well on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. They used it everywhere they could. So,
so it's very nice. Space-wise, you know, your standard mid-sized truck space in for the back. So full-size adults might have a harder time sitting back there comfortably. Headroom seems to be okay. Maybe not so great for the folks in the back, but up front, very spacious.
Yeah, I will note there's no sunroof. I don't know.
No sunroof.
Doesn't even look like it's an option on the ZR2, but could
Would be nice. Would be nice.
And I will say, I spoke earlier about the interiors of Chevys and how they just weren't working for me. I will say, although you do have some pretty hard plastic up here, but how often are you gonna touch that?
Right. Well, also it's easy to clean. So
easy to clean, which is a good point. But this here feels like leather. Yep. It feels genuine.
Same material that's on the seats.
And then a lot of manufacturers use faux stitching, like the little. It looks awful. I hate it every time I see it.
Yes.
But this is real stitching.
Yes.
So those are the kind of things that I pay attention to.
Yep.
When I'm searching for a vehicle.
Yep. Super nice.
And then, but you do have like where you're, down here it's hard plastic again, but then it gets soft.
Yes.
Here, so.
Yeah. No, I think the combination of materials they put in here is very nice. Made it a little bit more upscale. Give it a little bit of luxury, but not too overboard.
Yeah.
Especially
with the steering wheel looks great. Yeah. And you get those two big screens there.
I do wish though that they did the yellow stitching here for the shifter cover. They just left it the standard with the gray. So that would have been a nice
sure
pop.
That was an oversight.
I'm sure it was. Somebody wasn't paying attention that day. They just popped it on like, hey, who's going to do this one? But no, this is actually really cool. We've also got our little Chevy emblem emblazoned in here. There's also some Chevy emblems inside of the tail light, or the headlights, I'm sorry, they have on the sides there too. So kind of like we had experience on that Cadillac Escalade. Cadillac saying caddy, caddy, caddy. This is saying Chevy, Chevy, Chevy. But they do it a little bit more subtle, I think, than Cadillac. So it's not too overboard. Doesn't overwhelm you with that. Yeah. Which is really nice.
And I will say, we did a Colorado Z71 some time ago.
Yes, we did.
And even compared to that, this interior, I would say, is better. The quality of the materials is higher, for sure.
It's really cool. I'm just going to turn this on real quick, just so we can take a look at our infotainment unit here. Nice, bright displays. Sorry guys, we lost our audio here, but we basically were just wanting to illustrate the infotainment system and then all your various toggle switches that you have here for your traction control, your heated and your ventilated seats and things like that. We'll continue on to the next section. Thank you so much for bearing with us.
All right, so here we are in the back seat of the 23 Chevy Colorado ZR2. You get your $50 that you pay for yellow seat belts carries through to the back, so $10 a seat basically.
Yes.
You do get an armrest here with cup holders, which is really great to see. And I will say, let me try to hop in here.
Yeah, you see you got the grab handle.
Yeah, which is
both sides in the back.
Comes in handy. I would like to see maybe something here instead of up here, because like that's really hard to. You got to like work your hand in rather than just grabbing a handle here.
Yes.
But I have decent leg room. The seat could move up forward, so I could have even more leg room. The doors sound nice and solid when they close. This one's got child locks on. Good to know. We do have vents back here. Fairly small, but they're pretty powerful. You do get USB-C and A back here, as well as a household style outlet. But yeah, I feel like I have pretty good headroom. It kind of, there's like an indentation up here for taller people. So it's nice that they consider that. You've got your map lights here. Your rear mirror does open. It's manual, not powered.
But, yeah, that's a little.
Well, I mean, at this price point, I don't know if that's necessarily something you'd expect.
Right.
But it would be nice just to go take an extra step forward.
For sure, because think about this: the driver, then they have to come back here and do that if they don't have any passengers back there.
Exactly.
That's an inconvenience.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the back seat.
Very nice, Kate. Well, I think this interior of this truck still gets a very good grade for me. I'll still give it an A. There's a couple things that are a little wonky, but overall, this is really nice.
Yeah, it's a nice solid effort.
Yep, 100%. Let's check it out on the road and see how it handles.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, here we are on the road in the 23 Chevy Colorado ZR2.
Woot woot. Immediate, just coming out of the parking lot. This, even with the more aggressive off-road all-terrain tires, I should say, just a little bit that we've driven so far, pretty smooth. You do feel kind of that rumble of the tires as you slow down, but it's not anything crazy.
Yeah, and I'll reserve my final judgments for later, but so far it doesn't even seem very loud in here. I know we've got the AC, I'll turn that down, but even while driving it seems pretty quiet, even though you have those bigger, knobbier tires.
Yep.
I do love the way the steering wheel feels. I love the look of it. A lot of companies are going with that similar style. It's got like a smaller airbag cover.
Kind of like the Jeep.
Yeah,
very similar to that.
Exactly. Here you do have just a regular black Chevy emblem. Bow tie.
Yeah, I like that style. That's very nice. Then the gold.
Yep. And then on the left side of the steering wheel, you've got your cruise control settings with your your pre-collision system, so you can adjust there. On here, you've got your voice to talk, your music controls, your heated steering wheel, which it's nice that it's actually on the steering wheel.
Very convenient.
And then your toggles for selecting different things in the menu. So if you, let's say, click on music, you can use that to toggle down through all of your stuff. Don't need to make a phone call at the moment.
Let's call someone.
I don't see a way to configure the gauge cluster at all, so I think this is all you get.
Standard look, right?
So standard and only look.
Yeah.
But then you do have the CarPlay system here, which looks really good. Really snappy. And then you can toggle different things. You can go back to the native system and switch between the two.
Yeah, I was going to say, looks like responsiveness is very nice. There doesn't appear to be any lag or anything like that in the touchscreen, so responsiveness is good. It's just a slight flick of your finger, a push of your finger, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a regular user of a tablet, or everybody has a smartphone, so it's very familiar. Not a huge learning curve as far as that goes. Your headlight controls are in the screen. Yes, you heard that correctly. They're in the screen.
Yeah, that is actually
and then that's for your regular headlights, right? Up here, so you click that little light bulb. That's always there. That light bulb never goes away. And then if you want to turn your fog lights on, you have to go into a separate menu to turn them on.
Yep, or your auto high beams. Also, where you can turn on your park assist there as well. And you've also got your control for your hill descent, just so you're not going down the hill too fast. So keep your gearings regulated, and you've got power window lockout also.
Yeah.
And they also have more controls in there. So it seems like they definitely got a lot of the controls. That way they can stick to this more streamlined button and toggle system, because many of your controls are in the touchscreen.
Yeah, love it or hate it, I think that's just the direction we're going. So at some point, you do see it now, especially on EVs. There are no physical buttons. So I think it's only a matter of time before that starts to trickle, because as we transition to fully electric vehicles, it's like, spoon feeding us. Here's what you're giving us a little taste of what it's going to be like.
Little tidbits.
Yeah.
But I have to say, Kate, and I've, mentioned this again, and I won't keep talking about my love or dislike, my hate or love for the fully digital displays. But in this vehicle, I don't hate it. I actually kind of like it. It's really nice. It's sleek. It's streamlined. It's functional. So,
yeah, I think it helps when you have a good one.
Yeah.
But like I said, this one you can't configure in any sort of way.
Right. You can't customize it. Can't make it look different.
Right.
So that is kind of, a little bit of a downside. But the setup is nice. It's easy to get to. It's not distracting at all for the driver.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, everything's just really just a touch away.
Everything you need is right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Now that we're out here on the roadway, going a little bit faster now, we're probably doing about 45. Speed limit out here, I think I want to say is about 50, 55. Mm-hmm. You really start to feel and hear those tires now than before. You get a little bit of that tire vibration coming up through the seats, which for me, as a truck owner, I like that feel. I don't mind it. It keeps you connected to the road and to the vehicle. Some people might not like that as much.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like, obviously, I think if you're in the market for something like this, that's one of those things you expect. Mm-hmm. You're not looking for something that's isolated from the road, especially if you are going to be like taking it up and taking it off road and doing all the things with it. You want to be able to tell what's going on. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense. I will say, I am getting feedback through the steering wheel, mm-hmm. But it's not distracting. It's not unnerving. Mm-hmm. It's just it helps me feel connected to the road without feeling annoying or anything like that.
Right, so. Right. And how does that steering wheel feel in your hands now that you're in front of it and you're in the driver's seat and you're driving the vehicle?
It's nice.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, and I don't need it, but I have the heated steering wheel on.
Oh, man.
Just because I can.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
And it feels really good. Feels hefty. It's not puny. It is smaller on the smaller side of steering wheels, but it's not puny by any means. It's a man's steering wheel.
Hey. It's a person steering wheel. No, that's awesome. I like it. Very cool.
Yeah, I feel like there are not a lot of compromises with this. It's great. Obviously, it's a smaller truck, so easier to park than something like a Silverado, mm-hmm. especially something with a long bed. Like, good luck with that.
Yeah.
But this is a great, capable truck for the city.
Yes. Yeah, definitely a truck that anybody out there who loves trucks, I think, would really enjoy this vehicle. Again, just because it is midsize does not mean that it is shy.
Yeah. And it's wild. The interior color, I think they call jet black. I think that's what I saw on the window sticker, and I'm like, that's great.
Right. Sometimes I feel like manufacturers create colors or names for colors to make them sound cool, but they're like totally the opposite of what it actually is.
Yeah.
But that's okay. All right, now we're just doing a little bit more speed here. We're getting up to the 60s, and feels like the handling is really nice. It's not jarring back and forth either way. It seems to be holding its line really well.
Yep. This does have like lane keep assist and all that. So it does, a pretty good job. Blind spot monitoring, the light just came on. So yeah, I mean, what you would expect.
Yep. And for this midsize truck, as far as fuel economy, I think we're only going to be getting about 16 mpg, so not the great, mileage rating, fuel economy rating for gas, miles per gallon. But that is par for the course for, almost any truck or SUV. You're kind of going to be sitting in that 15 to 20 mile per gallon range. So
yeah. I will note that 16 miles per gallon combined.
Yes, combined. That is city and highway.
You're going to be filling up often.
Yep, most definitely. And with gas prices, whew, hope you got a lot of money stashed away just for gas.
It almost makes you wonder what the benefit of a four-cylinder engine is, right? Isn't fuel economy supposed to be one of their benefits?
Yes. Also, I think in certain applications, in this application, I don't think it works that well.
Yeah, I would say back to the drawing board on this.
Yeah, 100%.
As far as fuel economy goes.
Yes. They can find a way to make trucks and SUVs more fuel efficient. Give me 25 miles per gallon.
Right.
I'd be happy with that. 16, that's definitely not enough. But I think that somebody that owns this truck at that point probably wouldn't care because I think this would just be fun to drive.
Yeah.
So they would just toss it out the window like, whatever, I got to get gas again 2 times a week. That's fine.
Just a little bit of a trade-off.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with that. I will say it does handle these roundabouts nicely as well. So
It better too, because there are a lot of them in Colorado. Especially northern Colorado.
Yes. Engine growl sounds really nice.
Going over some tracks now.
Yeah, let's see what that suspension feels like going over something a little bit more bumpy. Oh yeah, you kind of felt that.
Yeah, you did. I can imagine going over those tracks in something with a longer wheelbase.
Yeah.
It might be a little
bit more jarring.
Yeah. But still very quiet on the inside. Like you're hearing the tires, but there's no wind noise. I'm not getting a lot of what was that? So.
Yeah, it's very quiet here in the cabin. Very nice.
But there you have it. Yeah, it drove really well. Like I said, it's very quiet. A lot of visibility is decent. I mean, it's a big truck. Also a lifted truck. It's a high truck.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's very nice.
Yeah, I definitely, like I said before, I think I'm going to give this truck an A rating. It feels good, it rides good, it drives good, it looks good. So I really don't have too many complaints. Little things here and there, but overall, this is very nice. I'm very impressed with this truck.
No deal breakers on this one for me.
Awesome, dude. Well, let's get back to the shop and let's wrap this up and give our final thoughts on it.
Sounds good.
Perfect. All right, okay, so now we're back from our test drive, and I have to say I really enjoyed this vehicle. I enjoyed the ride. I think my final thoughts are on this truck. If anybody is in the market for a mid-size truck and they want to go with the Chevy, this Colorado ZR2 works wonders. If you want to take it a step up further, you get more off-road oriented, go with the Colorado ZR2 Bison Edition. I think both of these would be great fits, and they look great.
For sure. If anybody out there knows me, I've never really been a truck person. It's
True.
all been about first it was sports cars, now it's SUVs, but I think I found it.
Yep.
I think this is the one. I think if I were in the market looking for a mid-size truck that's capable and off-road and looked cool and could do the things I want to do, I have friends that, you have the Tacoma,
yep.
I have family members that have Wranglers, you know what I mean? And I'm I can't do that thing with you, but in this, I'll be the first one there.
Yeah, you will be right in the crowd, man.
Yeah,
you'll hang with all of us.
I think this is it. It's got the technology, it's got the leather, it's got everything but a sunroof.
Yeah.
So I think I would compromise the sunroof and I would just go ahead and pull the trigger on it.
Yes. Yeah, this is a win in my book. 100% capable vehicle for just about almost any need. Obviously, larger towing, hauling, can't really do with this truck, but...
Well, this one actually does have a trailering package.
It does have a trailering package, although I don't think that it's going to be able to pull like a Porsche trailer or something like that.
Well, no. It only has a 3.42 axle ratio, so it's not, it's not going to pull tens of thousands of pounds. But you
can still do like your U-Haul kind of trailer, things like that.
If you've got some toys and you need to haul them around, this could do it.
Yeah, this could do it. This could do it. So I think in our book, we're going to give this guy a thumbs up.
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed this truck. Tell us, guys, give us your thoughts and opinions. Comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. We really appreciate, again, your feedback. Thank you for watching our channel. Okay, any last thoughts?
No, just thanks for all the support, and we hope that we get to continue to make great content for you guys.
Yeah, 100%. So until next time, we'll catch you on the road.
Catch you on the road.